But no,
I mean, that's their market.
There has never been a time that I thought about what I would eat with a whiskey.
Wait a minute.
What's going on, YouTube? I'm Scotch.
And I'm Sniff.
And we're Scotch and Sniff.
And I had to get this video started because we were in the middle of talking about Indian whiskey and what we're going to be talking about today, so we needed to get it started. We didn't want to rob you guys of content you need to hear. We're delivering. Get ready. All right. So we're doing Indian whiskey today. There are 3 specific Indian whiskeys I threw up here, but not like that. But in the grand scheme of Indian whiskeys, we only have 1 Rampur. We have maybe 4 or 5 bottles of Paul John between the Christmas ones, this Nirvana that they sent, a couple other ones. Like, this is a $30 bottle we'll talk about in a second. And then the Amrut Fusion, there's no more Amrut Intermediate Sherry. The 2 bottles that I bought of that are both dead. Because if you ever had Amrut Intermediate Sherry, you just drink it all. And then I think I have another Amrut sitting on the shelf. So, yeah, we'll just get into some Indian whiskeys because it's not talked about a lot in the whiskey community. Yeah. But I feel like it really does need to be talked about because they're so interesting and unique. And the market that they're driven for is interesting and unique, which has driven them to create very different whiskeys than what everybody is used to.
Unique is definitely the, operative word.
Yeah, because we were trying... So there's, like, a theme that runs through these whiskeys in terms of certain spices that we're talking about, which... We didn't want to sound like super racist.
Yeah.
But there's like an Indian whiskey funk that exists there, but it's in some spice that is obviously related to their production and it being made over there.
Yeah, and I wanted to call it kind of like either like a spice melange or like...
The spice must flow.
A garam masala, because I know that garam masala is basically like a house spice, a spice that, everybody's garam masala is completely different. But it's a set of spices generally that are kind of go along the same lines, but they all kind of flow. And some people might add more cumin, or some people might add more ginger, or whatever. And like these whiskeys, these were the first whiskeys that I thought of where it's just like, I could drink these 2 while I'm having a curry, and they would go perfectly with it, seamlessly, and it wouldn't be weird. It's not often that I drink some other whiskeys and think, ooh, I could be having this with food, which it was great because he stopped me mid-sentence. Most of the time whenever I drink whiskey, it's alone. Not alone like,
alone, but alone like the whiskey by itself.
Right.
The whiskey is the showcase.
The most things that I'll do generally will be like chocolates, just to pair. But
fruit?
Or fruit sometimes, but dried fruits, yeah. But these, I immediately went to like, man, I could have that with a curry, and this would be so clean with finishing while still adding a component of spice.
Actually, eating it with something like curry that has that level of spice would probably diminish the amount of like funkiness that we get from these whiskeys, which would be interesting. Actually, we should do it. We should do that one day.
And
that'd be a sweet episode.
We should do a blind tasting too, just to see if we still get those spices without having potentially like the preconceived. Yeah.
My favorite place, Bombay Nights, where I used to go get goat all the time, has closed. And I love that place and I miss it.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's super good goat. And like their buffet on Sunday was just on point. Anyways, so let's get into these. I'm going to start over here with the Amrut.
Yes.
I find it delicious. I get smoked apricots all day. The Amrut was an interesting one. The Fusion. The Intermediate Sherry was like a love that I had. I only had 2 bottles and I killed them both. They basically took ex-bourbon casks that they used to age the spirit. Then they put it into sherry. Then they put it back in ex-bourbon. And it was fire. It's so nice good. Just absolutely delicious and just worth killing bottles of.
So I got something that I think you said you didn't get. I got a slight peaty smokiness. There was definitely smoked, but there was like a slight peatiness to it. And I enjoyed that throughout.
So it's called the Fusion because they took some Scottish barley that was peated.
Oh.
They brought it to India, took some Indian barley, put the 2 together, and then they made a Fusion.
Huh.
So yeah, you should have gotten a little bit of peat.
Yeah, and
the peat doesn't hit me so much as like smokiness does.
Oh.
Like the smoked apricots that I get are like every time I crack that bottle and pour, it's smoked apricots.
Yeah.
Like I have to be in the mood to be like, oh, smoked apricots.
It's definitely a great, like right off the bat, it is definitely smoked apricots. But I got a nice amount of peat, so it's probably super, super lightly peated. Yeah. But then I also got some good spice components with ginger being kind of like a key component.
And moving into spice components, I'm going to skip the ginger. I know you want to talk about ginger here at the Rampur.
I mean,
but for me, I love Paul John.
Yeah.
Like, it started that I really, really loved Amrut, and I still do, especially with like the Intermediate Cherry and other things that they have. But like Paul John is known for their Manuka honey note, and it. So I went to a Paul John tasting where they like broke down all the spices.
Did they have Manuka honey for you?
Yes, they had it all so that you could try it all separately. And good Lord, now that I know what Manuka honey tastes like, it's all I get from all the Paul Johns. I cracked this bottle. So this is a bottle that they actually sent us, and I cracked it. And I remember like the first time I had some, I was like, holy crap, that Manuka honey is hitting. And then I was like, man, but it's got flavors. It's got like nice fruit. It's good balance. It's got these spices. I was like, this is so good. And then I was doubly blown away because it's only like a $30 bottle.
Oh, that's what you were hiding from me.
Yes, it's $30.
This
That is mind blowing for $30.
That doesn't even actually make any sense. So I was about to say, because I know Amrut can get kind of expensive.
This is like $70.
I thought that this was probably going to be in the 100 plus.
No, it is a $30 bottle. When they sent it to me, my mind was blown. I was like, there's no way. There's no way in the world.
There is so much
Flavor.
complex flavor. It's not just like, ooh, there's this and there's this, and it's kind of hitting you in a series. No, it's just this whole amalgam, a melange of flavors that you get a chance to just pick out as you're discovering the wine. That's a deal.
I mean, I call this whiskey.
Did I say wine?
You did.
Wow.
He likes wine too much.
I like wine too much. Been drinking beer lately though.
Stouts?
No.
I love stouts. I got this raspberry stout in the fridge right now.
I know you always have raspberry stout.
No, that's usually raspberry ale. This is it's good.
Anywho, this for $30, you did actually blow my mind because that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, it's a delicious
it's a flavor bomb.
It's a flavor
$30,
bomb.
You're like, oh my gosh, this is like literally. It's like when you just eat chicken nuggets all the time, and then you go down the street and you're like, wait a minute. There's a new restaurant that opened up, and then you try it, like it's Indian, and you try curry, and you try everything else.
This sounds like a life story.
Oh my gosh, this is just wild how different this stuff is. Not a life story, we grew up with other spices, but like, it's just crazy how you get so used to like a certain flavor profile, a certain flavor range that you can get out of Scotch whiskey, and then you go try some other countries, like, we're gonna try it like this, and they do it, and then you try it, and you're like, dang, like, it's different. It's not, it's not good or it's not better or worse. It's just different.
It's new.
And it's in like such a different category. You're like, dang, look at the flavors that they got from their whiskey.
And that's what you call expanding your palate. You don't necessarily need to like it, but trying different things to
Expand your palate for $30.
I mean, that right there, that's it. It's a deal. But growing your library of flavors and smells and tastes, it's important through your, whiskey.
Through your life, through your food
life,
you eat, through the desserts you try. I feel like
but specifically for the whiskey journey.
Definitely for the whiskey drinker.
Because you don't want to be the guy who's always just like, yeah, it tastes like caramel, tastes like vanilla, it's brown.
Oh, do you only drink bourbon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That caramel, vanilla, and brown are those are the only flavors you can have in bourbon, actually.
Yeah.
Due to cask restrictions. It's a whole different issue.
And bourbon law, right?
Yeah, it's a good time. Anyway, so the last one we have here that we want to talk about for Indian is Rampur. For me, this one was just fruit, Indian spice. That was it.
It was a lighter one of
the
two. These two are hitters, heavy hitters.
These are flavor bombs.
At $30, I'm really still stuck on that. Because this, I honestly thought that this was more expensive than all of them.
When I cracked it, believe me. And then I went and saw SRP online and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
He gave me a hint. He was just like, about this one, he was just saying that there's something about the price. So I didn't know if it was more expensive or least expensive, but I wasn't going to go look it up because I wanted to be surprised. But for $30,
it's mind-blowing.
It really, just with importing fees and like all of these other small things that you wouldn't even think of when it comes to like logistics.
How did they do it?
How did they do it? Yeah. But this one, it was just a lighter flavor. I did get more of a ginger note and I got more of those Indian spices, and I thought that it would pair really well with a curry, where it would kind of add in a little bit of like not just alcohol heat, but then also those other flavors that would go along with a nice curry over rice.
It's so funny to me because when I first heard about Indian whiskey, everybody was hyping up Rampur. But the first one I had was Amrut, and I was like, wait, is this what's possible, these flavors? And a buddy of mine actually gave me the rest of his Rampur bottle, and I was like, this is so lackluster compared to like all the rest of the Indian whiskeys that I've tried. They're just so much more robust and so flavorful. I was like, this is if somebody was like, let's cater to a Scotch loving palate or a bourbon loving palate, where you're getting some of the spice from here, but you're really getting something that is lighter and much more palatable for maybe like somebody who likes Heinz 57 instead of ketchup. Like you want some flavor and spice, but you're not really moving out of the the pile of what is available to you to try. Instead, with these, you have such robust flavor. You're like, okay, I don't need anything that's in my fridge. I need something in somebody else's fridge.
Yeah.
And it has to be completely just like a different culture than my fridge, and that's what you get. So that's what's up.
Yeah, great worldly picks, great Indian picks. These were fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Have you?
I mean,
what?
just go out,
Just
go out and buy that. Like at $30.
It's wild the flavor you get, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
you can do worse.
That's what's up.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
It's funny because I bought a lot of other Paul Johns. I'm like, that's what actually got me talking to their brand ambassador. And then he was like, hey, do you want to send you a bottle? And I was like, and then he sends this. And the funny thing is, it came in a Sazerac box. So I think Sazerac bought Paul John.
Or at least they're helping import.
No, I think they actually bought them. So, or they own like some giant chunk of them. So that was really interesting to get in the mail. And then when I got it, I sipped it and I was like, dang, this is really good. And then when I saw the price, I was like, that's impossible. Like,
it's impossible.
it doesn't make sense. But here it is. It's good. So yeah, definitely like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about Indian whiskeys. Have you tried Indian whiskeys?
If you haven't liked yet, or subscribed, or commented,
Have you tried? Make it your first comment. Make this the video your first comment.
yeah.
Never that.
Oh no.
So yeah, if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed before, break that like, comment, subscribe streak today.
Do it.
You went from 0 to hero
Oh.
by doing it below. There you go.
All right.
So yeah, let us know about the Indian whiskeys you've tried because we're just gonna go drink more Indian whiskey. It's good. Fantastic. Great. Wonderful. Dancing.